Hello and welcome to a video where today I shall be answering the two most frequently asked questions that I get on my YouTube channel on a relatively regular or daily basis, mainly on my videos, or should I say all the comments I do get are on my videos. But just quickly before we get into actually answering those two questions, I want to do a little bit of a shameless plug of my social media channels. If you're not following me on those already, go check them out down in the description below. Got links there to my Facebook, my Twitter, Instagram and Discord server. If you kind of want to get to know me on a bit more of a personal level and keep up to date kind of what I'm doing on a almost daily but mainly weekly basis, go ahead and follow my Instagram. It's mainly filled with very nice supercars from my showrooms or events that I go to. Any other kind of events that I'm interested in, such as the rugby, or just kind of cool social events and things that are going on in my life. I tend to post them all up there on my Instagram. Over on my Twitter, I tend to have all my opinions and stuff of various motorsport happenings that is going on in the current world, watching races and stuff like that. Over on the Discord server, you can find basically a whole bunch of very like-minded people who have already joined my Discord server and basically just discussing things tuning wise, sim racing wise, setups. If there's any questions or anything, that's a good way to get to me, share setups with other people, organise races. If you do have your own social media channels, whether it's YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, if you do live streams, things like that, that's a relatively good place to promote yourself, as I don't really like people promoting their channels on my channel here and in my videos, but I do have places over there where you can, post up your live stream every time that you're going live. If you make videos on a regular basis and you kind of want to reach a bit more of a wider audience, you could do so there on the Discord server. And obviously it'll be cool to have you getting involved with the conversations of what's going on in the motorsport world and the sim racing world over on there as well. And something else that I'm actually planning on doing as well from pretty much now on, I have already done one of these, is basically community races. Racing with you guys and other followers and like-minded people, basically just getting in either a private or an open lobby, racing a whole bunch of cars on different tracks and just having a blast. I've been recording these races as well. Unfortunately, I didn't really get any absolutely spectacular races to be putting up on the channel from the one that I did last week, but even still, very much enjoyed the racing with a lot of you guys. Very, very friendly kind of atmosphere. Some good hard racing as well, but it's all respectable, and we try and obviously keep the lobbies clean. So if you want to get involved racing against me and potentially feature yourself in one of my videos in the future and want to race against other people as well, then join both my Discord and also my Twitter, as I'll be posting details as and when I'm basically going or planning on putting those lobbies up. Those are two good ways of following me as to what's going on there. But enough of the shameless plugging. Let's actually dive into these questions that I get asked on a near enough every single video kind of basis. So the first one is basically, what is my PC system specs? I'm guessing people trying to get an idea as to what they will need PC hardware wise in order to play sim racing games at a pretty good, relatively high quality. And all the detail of that can actually be found over on my YouTube channel's about page. But as a bit of a summary, I've got an i7 4770K. It's running at 3.5 gigahertz. As is a 4770 series, it's relatively old. I've had it for quite a while now, and I feel like it's one of the things that is kind of holding my PC system back, because the other main component that is pretty important in a good sim rig is a graphics card, and there I've got a GeForce 1080 Ti that is doing things very, very nicely for me. But yeah, I feel like the CPU is holding me back a little bit with that regard, so it's something that I would like to try and upgrade in the future if I potentially can. RAM, I've got 16 gigahertz at 400 megahertz. Nothing particularly to shout home about there. Using an SSD, one for Windows, running my operating system, and a few key software packages such as Photoshop and video editing stuff. And the other SSD that I have is 500 gig, which I use for my main games that I play. And then I've got another regular hard drive that I use for all the other games and software programs that I use that don't really require quite as much or quite as quick performance read and write speeds. And then I've got a whole bunch of hard drives that I use for basically video storage and video editing, recording, all that good stuff. So all the detail and everything can be found on my about page if you do want to see that in a little bit more detail over there. It's also got some of the hardware that I use, such as the wheel, the pedals that I use. I think I might have keyboard and mouse if you're really interested in that. But the other main thing, and the other second question that I get, very nice segue coming on here, is what is it that you use to do this? All the looking up and down, looking around the cockpit of the car and looking into the mirrors. That probably made a few people relatively motion sick just by doing that. So I apologise for you, but yeah, what allows you to look around the cockpit? A lot of people have been, or a few people have been asking, like, are you using the thumb pad on the controller? Do you have buttons mapped? Or what is it? And it's actually TrackIR, and more specifically TrackIR 5, which is essentially comes in two parts. There's a sensor that sits up on the top of my monitor, and then I have a sensor which I attach to the side of my headset, and the two sensors basically read each other and track my head motion. So when I look over to the right, the in-game camera looks over to the right. If I look over to the left, the in-game camera looks left. If I look up, it also looks up, and it also looks down when I go and look down as well. It works in a very, very similar fashion to VR. Just rather than having a tiny little screen built inside a headset that is just a couple of inches away from my eyes, instead I am actually looking at my usual standard normal monitor, which ain't quite so standard and usual and normal anymore. Something that I shall be talking about a little bit more in a couple of weeks, or within the next couple of weeks, so keep an eye out for that in the future as well. But yeah, it basically tracks my head movement and then correlates that and puts it in game. There's a whole bunch of stuff that you can do with it. Obviously you can look left, right, up, down. You can also lean forward and lean back, and you can lean to the left and lean to the right. And then you can also kind of raise yourself up and raise yourself down as well. But I like quite a fixed and consistent experience in my racing. I don't really want my my camera moving around too much, especially if I am moving around a little bit in my seat over the course of a long race and shifting position. I therefore have all that kind of stuff disabled and turned off when I'm actually driving. But it's a very powerful piece of kit, and it does add quite a bit of authenticity and immersion to sim racing as well. I will be doing a full review on it in the future, and kind of my thoughts on it in comparison to VR as well. So that's probably something that people will be quite interested in. But yeah, it's a really good piece of kit, and that is what I use in order to be able to look around in the future. One question I do have one question that I do want to ask you guys though is, would you appreciate me putting in potentially some arrows to indicate to the left and the right hand side of the screen outside of usual kind of driving, so more for when I want to go and check mirrors? Basically put arrows that pop up on the screen just for like a half a second to a second or so, just to indicate as to whereabouts I am going to look in the next couple of seconds or so, just so you can kind of prepare yourselves for it. Because I can understand when I'm kind of driving around and all of a sudden I go and take a quick glance in the mirror. Obviously, I very much know that I'm going to be doing that, and therefore it's not too difficult for me to actually keep up and be able to focus on where it is that I'm going to be looking, because obviously you can't see where my eyes are looking. So I'm thinking to possibly make the viewing experience of my videos a little bit easier and a little bit more enjoyable for you guys, and to also give you a little bit more of a sense of where around the screen I am kind of looking, is popping up little arrows to indicate, like, in the next second or so I'm going to look over to the left mirror, or to the right mirror, or to the rear view central mirror if I'm driving in like in a GT car and something has it. So let me know in the comments below if you would appreciate that. It might just help you guys kind of be able to follow the screen a little bit better and not have to react to all my head movements. But yeah, that is what I use. It's TrackIR 5, so go ahead and look it up. Do also keep an eye out on the channel as well, because I do also plan on doing a review of TrackIR 5, and like I said, doing a bit of a my thoughts on it versus VR. So that is basically the two main questions that I get asked quite frequently on my channel now answered. So that's pretty much going to be it from me. I'm just going to let you guys enjoy a couple of laps driving the Formula Renault 3.5 with the TrackIR around Fuji Speedway. Just kind of enjoy the ride of looking into the apexes and corners and all that good stuff. But yeah, if you have any other comments or questions, feel free to leave them down in the comments section below. I'll try and get back to you as soon as I possibly can. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up, and if you are new here, consider subscribing to the channel, because I've got plenty more Project Cars 2 content coming in the future. But other than that, thank you very much for watching, guys. Hopefully I shall catch you again sometime soon, but in the meantime, have fun, stay safe, and take care.